Usually goes the other way and tries to hide it. But this is Grumpy, my big boy. Nosey's on the bottom. I film her, but it's dark down there and you can't see what I'm doing down there. Is that good dinner? Yup. They're my babies. I love them all to death. I have no favorites. They all mean just as much to me as the other ones do. They're all the same to me. He's about done with this one, so I'll sneak the other one in here for him. So when he's done with this one, he'll go right over to his second colossal rat and pick it up and eat it. So you don't have to. Me, there's no sense in making them strike for their food if you don't have to. It's rather senseless. If you can prevent it, the risks are lower to you and to the snake if they don't have to strike for their food. Some people get a kick out of it. Myself, I'd rather have my snakes mellow and calm than aggressive like that. So I feed them like this. Simple. And they're used to my presence, so I take his second one, lay it down here on the trap door, just like that. And when he's finished with his first one, he'll go pick up his second one and eat it. It's just that simple. They won't strike at you if they got food in their mouth usually. There are exceptions, I'm sure, but these are colossals. They don't look it from here because I'm standing away from it. I don't want to get right in his face while he's eating, but you'll see. I'll back off with the camera after he gets this one most of the way into his mouth, because at that point in time between the first feeder and the second one, you're still vulnerable because he's still protecting his food. So that's the point where you don't want to be in his face or be in the open for him to take a strike at you if he thinks you're going to try and take his other feeder. So you learn all these little tricks with years and years of working with him. He's a big boy, Grumpy is. He put on a lot of weight this summer. Beautiful colors and patterns. But yeah, that's Grump. But as he gets further down to the end of this one, then I'll back off with the camera and close the door because I don't want him to think I'm trying to take his other one that's over there. I've brought the focus in on the camera so you can see how big the feeders really are. They're really big. Compared to the size of his head, they're really large. This is Grumpy, my boy, having his lunch. They're both having 2 colossals today. Nosey's just starting on hers. She's on the bottom floor. They separate on their own when they want to eat. That's their way of letting me know they're ready to eat. One will go on the bottom floor and sit there and wait, and the other one will sit on the top floor, and I close that trap door right there between the 2 levels, and they'll sit there until I feed them. I give them a couple hours after they're done to cool down and calm down, and then I'll open that trap door and the snake that's on the bottom can go back up and join the one on top. It's that easy. Now see, he went right over and picked up his second colossal rat after he finished the first one. He's fully aware that I'm standing here in the door. He's not stupid. He can see me. But that's what he did. Ate his first one, then real calmly goes over and picks up the second one. I don't see it makes any sense for you to be stressed out feeding your snakes or for them to be stressed out when it can be done in a calm, relaxing manner. It's a lot better for them for digestion. Yeah, sure, instinct tells them to strike and kill their food, but it doesn't have to be that way. It depends on how social you want your animals to be. Now, he's fully aware I'm standing here. He went over and got his second one. He's going to eat that one now. But first, Grumpy, you don't normally do that, which means I'm vulnerable because there's a chance he may change his mind and release the back end and go back to the nose to eat it. But that's why it's important to learn to read their body language so you can anticipate the changes that they may make. And that way you're not setting yourself up for a bite. And let me tell you, when they bite, a big constrictor like this, it hurts like hell. And it bleeds like hell. So if you can avoid it happening, you're better off, and so is your snake. So I've learned through many, many, many years and experiences of my own, making bad judgment calls. But I've learned how to read their body language, so I know ahead of time what to expect from them at any given time or situation. Now he's going to take it, he's moving it, so he still may let go of that back end and go back to the nose to eat it. But at this point I have to pay close attention to him in case he decides to release it, because if he does, he might think I'm trying to take his food away from him and he may come at me. But it's a matter of learning to read their body language. Snakes can't talk to you per se, but they can let you know everything that's going on. You just have to learn to read them. Now he's going to eat it rear first. Grumpy, you know better. That doesn't work well for you. Oh well. Now he's going to hide it. He's going to position it so he can get his mouth straight on the tail end of it. They're very intelligent animals. I don't know why people think they're stupid, because they're not dumb at all. Now I have to really be careful because I can't see his face, and I'm standing here in an open doorway. You have to guard yourself all the time. I'm not saying that they have intentions of doing you bodily harm, but they're funny. They're very protective of their food. Most snakes are very cage defensive, cage protective, may I say. But there's a way to not put yourself in a bad position. So that way you still have a good relationship with these animals after they've been fed and everything's calm and they've digested and you're around. They know you mean them no harm. They know you're no threat to them. They know that you can be trusted. And, I mean, like right now, he could let go of that and come right at me, but he won't because I know him that well. And that takes a lot of years of handling, a lot of years of observation and dedication. It's really that easy. And that's what comes from observation. Grumpy let go of the back end of the rat and went back to the nose to eat it. I see, if I had the door open when he was in the middle of that transition, I was vulnerable because he could have come at me if he thought I was after his food. But he's on the nose now. As you can see, he changed his mind, turned around, went for the face. You learn to read them. You learn to understand them. And right now I'm going to close the door because his body's swinging around everywhere. And I don't want it flying out the door. But there you go. Observation.